There are more American men who have metabolic syndrome than men who don't. Let that sink in, because that means that the majority of men over 40 are already on the road to type 2 diabetes and heart disease and low testosterone, even if they feel fine. And here's the kicker. The real number is probably even higher than the stats say because men tend to be doctor dodgers, right? They don't get checked until symptoms are out of control. On top of that, most guys never get all the right tests done. It's a mess, and it's a big problem because it means the damage is building silently. And by the time you officially qualify for the diagnosis, so let's say your A1C is over 6.5% or you have a fasting glucose over 125, well, at that point, you've already been beating up your pancreas for years, and that can lead to permanent damage. I'm Dr. Adam. I'm a naturopathic doctor and a men's diabetes coach. And over the years, I've helped hundreds of men get their blood sugar under control, rebuild muscle, and ultimately get off meds for good. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 early warning signs of diabetes that you can't afford to ignore. All right, sign number 1 is a little bit surprising. It's erectile dysfunction. So let's be honest, this is usually the one thing that finally gets a guy to the doctor. You might be able to ignore being tired all the time or running to the bathroom at night, but when you can't have sex anymore, that's pretty hard to brush off. And here's a quick reminder. ED isn't just about testosterone. It's also about blood flow and nerve health. And when your blood sugar runs high, it damages the lining of your blood vessels, cuts down your nitric oxide production. That's the stuff that makes the arteries in your penis relax so blood can flow in. And here's why it often shows up early in men. It's because the blood vessels in your penis are smaller than the ones in your heart. Same with the ones in your eyes. Smaller pipes tend to get clogged and damaged first. To make matters worse, high blood sugar also messes with the nerves in your penis. So even if the plumbing's working, the signal from your brain might not get through. And that's why ED can pop up years before a diabetes diagnosis. So if your erections aren't as strong or don't last as long like they used to, don't just grab a little blue pill and hope for the best. Check your blood sugar, because if there's a problem down there, there's probably a problem everywhere else. Sign number 2 is prediabetes. And this one sneaks up on you because you don't actually feel it. It's something that you see on a lab result. And most guys already have it without realizing it. Prediabetes means your fasting glucose, your A1C, or maybe both are higher than they should be, but not quite in the official diabetes range. It's this gray area. And here's where a lot of guys get lulled into a false sense of security. The doctor says, you have prediabetes, let's just watch it, maybe try to eat better. And then they send you home. And that's a mistake, because prediabetes isn't just a warning sign. It's already metabolic damage. So your insulin is running high just to keep your glucose from exploding. So think of it like driving your truck with the tach needle just pinned in the red. Sure, it's still running. You could do that, but it's only a matter of time before something blows. Most guys know something's up at that point, or maybe they've even been told that they have prediabetes. Then they convince themselves they're doing something about it by saying, I'll just eat better, I'll just exercise more. The problem with that is it's a trap, because at best, eating better slows things down. It doesn't fix the damage that's already been done. And this is when the fat starts packing into your liver and your pancreas and your muscles, which then stops soaking up glucose the way it should. And the clock is ticking toward full-blown type 2 diabetes. If you've ever had a fasting glucose over 100 or an A1C above 5.6%, consider this your wake-up call that diabetes is on its way if nothing changes. Sign number 3, Nocturia. You're getting up to pee once in a while, isn't a big deal at night, especially if you crushed a big glass of water before bed. But if you're up 2-3 times every night on a regular basis, that's a red flag. And here's why. When your blood sugar is high, your kidneys pull extra water from your body to help flush the sugar out. That's a survival mechanism. And that means more trips to the bathroom. Your body's basically trying to flush out the toxic sugar through the toilet. And I know it's annoying, but it also wrecks your deep sleep. And on top of that, poor sleep quality makes your blood sugar worse the next day. It's a vicious cycle. Now, most guys chalk this nighttime peeing issue as just getting older, or they blame their prostate. But in a lot of cases, it's actually one of the earliest signs that your glucose is running too high for too long. Okay, sign number 4 is excessive thirst. If your mouth always feels dry or you're constantly sipping water, but you never feel satisfied, that's not normal. And no, it's not just from a hot day or a sweaty workout. That constant thirst is your body's way of trying to dilute excess sugar in your blood. So here's the cycle: high blood sugar, then you get thirsty, you drink more, you pee more often. And you think you're just staying hydrated because you just drank a gallon of water today, but unfortunately you're not, because if your glucose is high, water alone won't fix it. The only real fix is improving your insulin sensitivity so your body can use that sugar instead of letting it float around in your bloodstream and then needing to pee it out. And sign number 5 is low energy. This is what I would consider the glucose paradox. I hear a lot of guys over 40 say, I'm just getting older, I feel tired all the time. But in most cases, it's not age, it's a fuel delivery problem. And that makes sense because we all know someone who is older than us, but stronger and more active. It's not related to age. So here's what's happening with your energy. Your blood is loaded with sugar. So it should be an energy reserve, but your cells can't use it because they've become insulin resistant. So the blood sugar stays in the blood. So it's like having a pantry just stuffed full of food, but the door's locked. Your muscles are starving while you're surrounded by energy that you can't access. And that's why your energy crashes at 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. You need another coffee, or you just feel wiped out after dinner. And if you ignore it, you just pushed further down the road. If you're getting closer to medications, that won't actually fix the root cause. So here's what I want you to take away from this. All 5 of these signs point to the same problem. Your metabolism is losing flexibility. Your ability to handle carbohydrates, your ability to store energy and use your muscle and keep your glucose in range, all that is breaking down. If you ignore it, the damage becomes permanent and you end up on a cocktail of meds and injections for the rest of your life. If you address it now and you actually reverse the damage, which can be done in as little as 90 days, then you can move on with your life. You can feel healthier, more energy, stronger, better erections. So here's your move. If you've got any of these signs, even just one, don't wait for your doctor to say you now have diabetes. That's not the beginning of the problem. That's like starting the third quarter already down by 20. So get some labs. I'm talking fasting glucose, fasting insulin, A1C, testosterone. Measure your waist, track your energy and your sleep, because your personal data doesn't lie. It's a great place to start. And a lot of times I notice that men just seeing those numbers in black and white is all the motivation they need to finally take care of this once and for all. Because the earlier you act, the easier it is to reverse this disease. So don't wait until you're in the danger zone. Take back control as soon as possible.